What's going on, guys? Ocean with Redline Gaming here at Final Dungeon in Woodstock, Georgia. I'm here with my man Deondre, who this past weekend at the Atlanta Regional got his very first invite to Nats. Deondre, what did you place and what did you play?
I played Altergeist, the control deck of the year, and I placed 22nd out of top 24.
All right, that sounds all right. So, like I say, congratulations on that very first invite. So we're gonna talk about your deck and all your choices. So let's get right into it.
Okay. For monsters, I play 3 Multi-Faker. Best card of the deck. Just came out. It's absolutely amazing. Special summons a monster from deck when it's special summoned. After you activate a trap card, you get special summon it from hand. Works after resolution of counter traps too, so it's just amazing. Second best, Miluseek, can attack directly, and when it inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you get to target one card your opponent controls and just send it to the graveyard. And then when it's sent from field to graveyard, by any means, you just get to search an Altergeist monster. And it's really easy because it's level 1 for one of the cards I played in my extra deck. The other one you play at 3 is Marionetter. I play 3 commons because I'm a scrub, even though it comes in Ultra. Whenever it's normal summoned, it sets an Altergeist card directly from deck, so you don't get to ash it, which is really important. And then you can just target one Altergeist card you control and a monster in the graveyard and just swap them essentially, which will potentially trigger some other effects like Miluseek. Send that to the graveyard, you get to search, special summon something else, special summon Multi-Faker, get the special summon from deck. It works really well. And then unfortunately it's the biggest main deck monster that we have with 1600 attack. 2 ofs, you play Silquitus. It's essentially Kieran. I really don't have to explain that any further. It's Kieran, and then when it's sent from field to graveyard, you add a Altergeist trap from grave back to your hand. I only play 2 because you never want to actually open it, and it's just bad. I play 1 Konkuri. It doesn't have to be played. I like it because if you control an Altergeist card and your opponent attacks, you just special summon it. It's got 24 defense. And then when it's special summon, you target any card your opponent controls and negate its effects while this stays up on the field. And they have to answer it or else it's a problem. And then hand traps, 2 Ogre, 3 Ash, no Drolls, mainly because I couldn't get them. And then these worked out fine. They did what they were supposed to do, and I like the ratio for it. Right. And that's all for monsters.
Okay, so how many monsters was that in total?
I believe it was 17 or so. I played a 42 main deck. Okay. But 0 spells. Absolutely 0 spells.
All right.
Draw cards.
Monsters and traps.
Just monsters and traps. The deck searched a lot, so I didn't feel like I needed to play any spell cards. Desires, I don't want to banish anything too important, and then there's no other generic draw cards enough for it. I could have played the Spellbook engine, but that clashes sometimes if you don't have any of the spellcasters. Sometimes you just want to keep them on the field. So, on to the trap lineup.
All right.
3 Altergeist Protocol. This card's amazing because you can't negate any Altergeist cards or their effects while this is up on the field. And then it's also Divine Wrath in the sense that you can send any other Altergeist card you control to the graveyard. Even if you have like 2 of these up, you can just send another one up to negate a monster effect and destroy it. And that part's once per turn, but it's just you can't negate it. So you can ogre, but that's about it. Next, 2 Manifestation. It's called the Haunted. You just target 1 Altergeist monster in your graveyard, special summon it, and then equip it to it. And then while it's in the graveyard, you can banish it and add any other Altergeist trap card from your grave to hand. It's really nice because you just summon Silquitus, and then you summon Silquitus, use its effect to bounce this back to hand and something your opponent controls, and then it'll destroy it. This will just be back in hand, you'll just reset it, and then summon this back again so you can have more interruption later. That's what I did. A lot, actually. 1 Amulet Elf. It summons itself as a monster with 1400 attack, 1600 defense. I use it because it's both a trap and a monster. It'll get Multi-Faker's effect off, and then also while it's on the field, your opponent can't target or destroy your other Altergeist trap cards. Like, that part never came up. I just used it for an additional body to either bounce back with Silquitus or trigger Multi-Faker's effect. And then 3 personal spoofing. The Altergeist card that's not an Altergeist card. Shuffle 1 Altergeist card you control or in your hand into the deck for cost, and then add any Altergeist monster from your deck to hand. And it's really good because you shuffle back any Altergeist card and then add Multi-Faker on activation of this. And then you'll automatically get to special summon this because this will be in your hand by the time the effect resolves from it being activated. And then you can just summon, and it's during either player's turn, so it's amazing, and it causes a lot of interruption. And then the best trap card in the deck, 3 Infinite Impermanence. I don't know how to explain just how good this is in this deck. Going first, if you open Multi-Faker, because you just target 1 face-up card your opponent controls. Well, 1 monster your opponent controls when it's activating its effect, like mainly against like the Predator Plants or anything that has a normal summon effect. You activate this, negate its effect, and if Multi-Faker's in your hand, you just special summon it and get the special summon. Normally Sulquidus. It depends, reading on your opponent. If you summon Sulquidus, you get to bounce up to the hand. I like to summon Miloseek because if I know they can't do anything else, I'll just link it away next turn and get the search off. So it still turns into an additional +1 even after everything resolves. And then also, when you set it, whatever your opponent activates in that spell trap card zone that this was activated in, it'll negate it. That actually came up in 1 game. My opponent activated, it actually came up in 2 games. My opponent activated Moon Mirror Shield on a Falsadina, and not only did I negate Falsadina, I negated the Moon Mirror Shield's effect because it was directly behind it, and then I negated a monster's effect once with this, and then they activated, what was it? Instant Fusion in the same turn, in that same zone, but it was negated because they forgot that they can't use the zone for the rest of the turn, so they just paid the 1,000 and then nothing happened. 2 Storming Mirror Forces. The deck works well with battle traps. I chose Storming over like regular Mirror Force or Drowning because this will help get out of the Goki lock because it doesn't target and it's not destroying them, so it'll just return them back into their hand or extra deck. Whatever you need to do for it, it breaks the field because regular Mirror Force, if they have the lockup completely, I won't be able to destroy them, and this deck has an issue breaking that sometimes. But that's why I chose Storming. 2 Heavy Storm Dusters for back row removal. It's really straightforward. It's Twin Twister minus the discard effect, and I skip my battle phase. Never going to activate this on my own turn, so it does not matter. 1 Anti-Spell Fragrance, just because in case I run into something. If I open it, I open it. Same thing with Imperial Order. I don't play any spells, so this does not hurt me at all, and it works really well against the previous meta. Not as much maybe going forward, but it worked really well. I'll still keep both of these in just because of Sky Strikers coming out, but this came in clutch a couple times. Triple Torrential. It's Konami may have messed up putting this to 3, but it's really good, especially because once it resolves, if Multi-Faker's in my hand, I can just summon Multi-Faker. And most of my Altergeist float into something, so I technically don't lose any advantage when I resolve this card. And then, of course, just the Solemn package. 1 Judgment, 1 Warning, 2 Strikes. Just simple. Strikes were really good this one. I didn't really use Warning as much, but Judgment, best day. They activated I activated Red Reboot on somebody, and then they activated Judgment, and then I judgmented them back. It was great. We shook hands, we laughed and shook hands. It was great, but that's my main deck. It was 40.
It was 42, right?
42.
42, all right.
42, no spells, no draw cards.
All right, and real quick, jump into the extra deck, right?
Extra deck.
Extra deck.
3 Hexia. The main one you go into. It's almost the only card in your extra deck you go into outside of 1 other. Gains the original attack of the Altergeist monster it points to, and it points down and over. So whenever you point it next to Marionette, it becomes 61. Enamel Elf becomes 29, and then if it points to itself, it'll become 3,000. And then also, you just tribute an Altergeist monster that it points to negate a spell or trap. Not spell or trap card effect, unlike the old CG. And then also, when it's sent from field to graveyard, you can add any Altergeist card from your deck to your graveyard. From your deck to your hand.
Alright.
One Prime Banshee, one Kildoga. Never went into this. I only go into this for fun because whenever you inflict battle damage to your opponent with a different Altergeist monster, you can special summon one monster from their graveyard to his own points to, and then you have to attack with this or else that monster can't attack, but that doesn't really matter. And then Prime Banshee, I wish I could make it easier because all I have to do is tribute any card I control, any monster I control, plus summon an Altergeist monster from my deck. But I just never make it. They're just there. Kashik, never made it. Black Rose, never made it. Trispana, I made it in I guess a BA deck that was playing a lot of back row. But it wasn't needed. Same thing with Topologic. Bomber Dragon. This one would actually, in theory, it's really good because you just summon any of your main Altergeist like Miluseek to it. It'll blow up their field and then you'll just get a search off of it. Phoenix, Goblin, Mermaid for the Ibly that they give you. If they don't extra link you out, you just summon Mermaid to get rid of it. Never made any of these. One Abyss Dweller because I can make rank 4. It came up once against the BA deck too, and I won that game because of it. Borolo Dragon also made it one time, and it won me the game against that same BA player actually. And then the best boy, Link Kribo. Link Kribo
too good.
Link Kribo too good with Miluseek because your turn 1 play a lot of the time is just summon Miluseek, link it away, summon Link Kribo, search Multi-Faker, set a bunch of back row, and then your opponent just has to cringe until then. Against a Trickstar ABC deck, this card saved my life because I kept reborning this with the Call of the Haunted, and then tributing it away for Link Kribo and searching for other stuff, and then just keep making their attack 0. That game went into time, and because of these two, I won the game together. Best combo together. 15 extra deck, and the side deck real quick. 2 Zaphion for back row decks. Along with 2 red reboots. At a different regional, I red rebooted a Paleo deck and then summoned Zaphion and then shuffled everything they had back. He was pissed at me for the rest of the day. And I got 17th at that one, but we were only doing top 16. So that was unfortunate. Yep. 2 Kaijus. Never used it, even though I could technically just bounce it back with Silquidus. That's the idea of it. 2 D barriers, pendulums and rogue decks are still a thing, so you kind of need this. I didn't want to play 3 because one, I didn't have room in the side deck, but I also only felt I only needed the 2 because I have enough interruption as is. 3 Evenlies. Do I really need to explain it? It's Evenly, break the giant board, and then if Multi-Faker's in your hand, summon Multi-Faker. It's just amazing.
Evenly is evenly.
Yep, evenly is evenly. The second anti-spell fragrance. 2 mistake. This actually came up against a invoke deck. They just couldn't search anymore. But then it got turned off by Royal Decree. So, simple as that. And then the 1 spell card, Regeki, just because it's Regeki.
Alright, so that's everything. Anything you'd like to say?
Shout outs to Final Dungeon, which is the place that we're at now, where I play every Friday. Super Games and Marietta of my team, Red Light Gaming, because without them, a lot of this I would not be able to have been able to play with, because I borrowed a lot to get this deck together. And Power God Anime. I like to think Power God and Anime. Power Anime, Red Light Gaming, and my friends. So that's it.
Awesome. Well, Deondre, thank you so much for this deck profile. And again, congratulations on the very first of many to come, I'm sure of. This is Ocean with Red Line Gaming. We'll see you guys next time.